Welcome to the closing ceremonies for our Public Safety Institute, our Art Institute, and our Science Academy as part of our 2019 Sturgeon City Institutes. I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Paula Farnell. I'm the director here for the Sturgeon City nonprofit, as well as the director for the Institute's program. I'd also like to briefly introduce or mention Dr. Don Herring, who's our board chairman for the Sturgeon City Board of Directors, and Mr. Glenn Hargett, who is our assistant city manager and mastermind behind the Sturgeon City Institute programs, along with others, as the rest of our leadership team. Earlier this morning, we graduated a new class of fellows for the Sturgeon City Science Institute program. The Science Institute is for rising freshmen, so if you know of anyone that will be that age coming along next summer, please definitely feel free to pass the information along to them, and you can always get information about that program through our Facebook page and our website. This year marks the 21st edition of the Sturgeon City Institutes. It's a special time, and we're pleased that you're here to share in this moment with us. To the members of the Public Safety Institute, we know you have gained impressive knowledge about the work of police and fire and EMS departments with our city of Jacksonville. And to the members of the Science Academy, we say we are impressed with your work this week and wish you well in your search for learning. And to the members of the Art Institute, we hope that you will continue to be inspired by our environment and our community in your art and in your future. To all the participants, we would like to say that you are to be congratulated for your work, and we encourage you to continue in all of your endeavors and to keep in mind our future programs and other opportunities within this community that our young people can participate in. We hope that you'll seek out other volunteer opportunities and ways to stay involved in this community going into the future. We're all here as a result of a vision. You hear a lot about Sturgeon City, and I'll be honest, we get a lot of questions about the name of our organization. When this facility closed, this is the former wastewater treatment plant for the city of Jacksonville, and it closed in the late 90s, 1998, we realized, or had previously been realized, that there was degradation caused to the river and the bay. This plant had discharged wastewater into Wilson Bay for over 40 years, and there were other discharges into the river in other areas as well. And in 1995, over 23 million gallons of hog waste were spilled into the New River. And while many expected to see severe damage from that as a result of that spill, when the damage was not as severe as expected was when we realized it was because there was really no life left to damage. And so as this plant closed, because by that point the new land application plant, that's now been operating for over 20 years, was already in process, the city and several concerned citizens and other organizations stood up and chose to take responsibility for what had been done to this facility. It served as a true wake-up call. This community takes very much pride in our rivers and our waterways. People grew up here fishing and swimming and boating out in these waterways, and none of them were doing that anymore. People didn't want to set foot in the river, didn't want to be near the river. Many people still see it as being degraded and as being not enjoyable for them to visit, so we're still working against that mindset. But because of all those outcalls of interest in protecting our river and taking pride back in our river, the city chose to take responsibility for what had been done and decided to work to clean up the degradation that had been caused to Wilson Bay and to the New River, along with many other partners. And the words were used specifically, moral obligation, to take responsibility, to clean up what had been done here, and to continue to be able to showcase the efforts that took place here for future generations. Environmental education became the next logical arm. And so just this week, we held our opening ceremony for our brand new Sturgeon City Environmental Education Center, which you are sitting inside right now for this ceremony. So thank you very much for joining us today. And please know that you are part of a very special iteration in this 21st year of our Sturgeon City Institutes as we open this new center that has been over 20 years in the making for this facility. We are very excited that this center has been authorized through a partnership with the city of Jacksonville and the Sturgeon City nonprofit. And we'll be able to be here to continue to expand our educational offerings and provide other opportunities for our community that are much needed. Such is the stewardship and connection between the city and our community and this nonprofit that for many years there were actions taken that degraded this river, but now we have been able to clean it up. And that we're hoping that we can continue to tell this story so those actions will not be repeated again. The institutes carry forth that promise of stewardship. And it was very exciting that in one of our first iterations of the Institutes in 1999, one of our student participants found one of the first signs of life already back in our waterways. He found a little Rangia clam, and that was one of our first signs that life was coming back to the bay and to the river. And earlier this morning, we graduated our Science Institute students, and they use a form of blogging to track all the things they do throughout the week. And also throughout the week, all of the work that your students have been participating in has been tracked through our Flickr site that has thousands of photos from all this week's different programs accessible. They've been also being posted on the Sturgeon City Facebook page, to the Sturgeon City website. They'll be continuing to show videos of these ceremonies throughout the next coming weeks on G10, and also be available through the City of Jacksonville's G10 and other YouTube pages. So let us now begin our closing ceremonies. I would like to start by introducing Miss Mary Downey, who is our director for our Science Academy, our Marine Biology group, and she has also been receiving support from Miss Hannah Hill and Miss Jade Sweeney.
Good afternoon. I'd like to say it's been a pleasure to work with these 23 young folks from all over Onslow County. It has been my pleasure to work with them. We've had a great time. I hope they've had a great time. I have. And I've also want to thank Jade Sweeney and Hannah Hill for being here and supporting me through this. We've had a lot of fun this week, and they're going to tell you about it in a presentation in just a few moments. But I would also like to say, on a personal level, I've been involved with this sort of thing with Sturgeon City for a lot of the past 21 years, off and on, and it is such a neat experience to be here in this building and have seen it come to a fruition through a lot of hard work from the City of Jacksonville, folks like Ms. Paula Farnell and Mr. Glenn Hargett as well. So well done. I would like to say that on a personal level. It's a beautiful facility. And now I'd like to, for my group, the Marine Science Academy, to come on up, and they have a little presentation for you.
Hello, we are a part of Sturgeon City's Marine Biology Institute. This week we had fun meeting new people, working together, and exploring North Carolina's environment and organisms. In this presentation, we will discuss what we did each day.
Hello, I'm Peyton.
Hi, I'm Amara.
Hi, I'm Zip.
And hi, I'm Caden.
We started the week with a nice walk along the boardwalk from the Sturgeon City campus to Newbridge Middle School. Our first activity we did at Newbridge was we created plankton with materials to represent life of plankton by putting our models into a bucket of water to see what model floats but slowly sinks like real plankton. The last activity we did, we made tinfoil boats. We made tinfoil boats with one sheet of tinfoil and our collaboration skills to see which boat held the most pennies before it sunk. Our most recorded pennies the boat held was 83.
My favorite part of the Institutes this week was getting to go canoeing.
My favorite part was walking the boardwalks.
My favorite part of the Institutes this week was making tinfoil boats. And now to the Tuesday group.
Hi, I'm Mallory.
I'm Cameron.
And I'm Nicholas. On Tuesday, the second day of the Academy, we went to Cedar Point, the Tideland Trail. We saw banana spiders, green anoles, and a variety of crabs. We stopped at various points on the trail to view the wildlife and the scenery. At one point, we found confetti spread across the ground. A member of our group pointed out that it was made of plastic. We picked up every little piece, making sure to leave none behind, and our group disposed of it. So we helped preserve the natural beauty of the forest. Afterward, we ate lunch and went crabbing at a nearby dock and caught many crabs. We released a little after, but it was fun to see wildlife in its natural environment. And we also spent time doing team building activities, and it brought the group of us closer.
I like being outdoors.
I like meeting new people.
And now for the next days.
Hi, I'm Mariah.
I'm Savannah.
I'm Justin.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Ireland.
On Wednesday, we began the day with the opening ceremony of the Sturgeon City Environmental Education Center. The opening served as an important mark of history for Sturgeon City's 21-year progress. The opening included people like the mayor, past alumni, and some past board members.
Our part in the opening ceremony was to demonstrate the educational aspect of Sturgeon City by performing a variety of science experiments with the younger Camp Sturgeon children. These experiments demonstrated the properties of buoyancy and density to the children, as well as being fun for all involved.
We helped the kids learn about science by teaching them science projects. We taught them how mammals stay warm using fat. We also taught them about the density and about air pressure using the heat.
In the afternoon, we dissected a variety of animals to look at the different structures and how the evolution of animals varied. The first animal we looked at was a clam, a bivalve of the phylum Mollusca. We split them open and identified structures.
Next, we did the crayfish. We cut through the tail up to the abdomen.
Next, we looked at the phylum Chordata, animals with spinal cords. Lampreys were the most primitive because they had no jaws.
Then the dog shark. My team especially wanted to study the brain of this animal.
Then we jumped from jaws and cartilage skeletons to bony fish, such as flounder, hogfish, and snappers. These fish varied because they had lots of muscles, specialized structures like sharp teeth for carnivores, and air bladders.
Next, we went on to the amphibians. We did an ocelot, a salamander, and a frog. We've studied the different characteristics and similarities of both. We noticed the more advanced they got, the more like to mammal or vital organs they had.
The most advanced organism we dissected was a mammal, a pregnant rat. They are the most advanced because they are placental mammals. The rat I dissected had 10 offspring, and they weren't really developed. They were about the size of a pea. Dissecting rats was my favorite part of the Institute.
After we studied the rat, we tried to identify how close to human anatomy the rat actually was, like the embryology of the rat, just as an example.
Now
In conclusion, on Wednesday, we had the grand opening ceremony. We did projects with the younger Camp Sturgeon kids, and we did multiple dissections. Now for the next day.
Hi, I'm Zoe.
Hi, I'm Tyler.
Hi, I'm Emily.
Hi, I'm Talia.
Hi, I'm Chloe.
Hi, I'm Cameron.
On Thursday, we went canoeing. Before that, we had a bunch of team building activities in the morning that tested our patience, teamwork, and arm strength. Then we went canoeing. We expected at least one team to flip, and we were right. Mallory, Peyton, and Cameron ended up tipping halfway through. The whole goal of canoeing was not only to pick up trash, but to have fun along the way.
My favorite part was when we raced to the bridge and Sophia and I beat Colin and Cameron.
My favorite part was the human knot because it really helped us bond as a group.
My favorite part of our adventure on Thursday was, of course, going canoeing, but the most memorable part that I enjoyed was helping the environment by cleaning up trash and as well as seeing the amazing animals in the bay while we canoed.
My favorite part was when I got a chance to help out the environment.
My favorite part was almost running into Tyler and Sophia while canoeing.
And now for the final group.
Hello, my name is Jillian. I'm Breslin.
Hi, I'm Sarah. And I'm Allison. The last day, today, we only had half a day, but it was just as important. We experienced real-life workplace talk when we went to business before hours this morning. We exchanged business cards and met new people, opening up future job prospects and giving us a little bit of practice before we have our own job opportunities.
My favorite part of the Institute was dissecting animals and meeting new people.
My favorite part of the week was when we went canoeing and crabbing.
My favorite part of this week was taking pictures of all the cool things that we saw and did.
And my favorite part was making new friends. We hope you've enjoyed this presentation.
And now I would like to present certificates of completion of this week to my participants in the Science Academy. I have Cameron Atkinson. Caden Correll. Allison Cowan. Mariah Cox. Cameron Davis. Tyler Gillette. Emily Goins. Justin Gutierrez. Chloe Henderson. Breslin Hunt. Savannah Carnes. Sophia Levine. Peyton Longfellow. Zoe McDowell. Mallory McDonald. Amara Moeller. Talia Rochelle. Jillian Rowden. Sarah Simmons. Nicholas Trigg. Ireland Van Essendelf. And Zipporah Van Essendelf. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much for sharing with us the wonderful adventures of our Science Academy group from this week. We are going to move on next to our Art Institute group. I would like to introduce Mrs. Catherine Ackerman, who has been helping us out from the Council for the Arts this week. So Kat, if you would like to come up, and we'll move on to our Art Institute presentation.
Hi, I'm Kat Ackerman. I'm a local artist here in Onslow County and a volunteer board member with the Council for the Arts here in Jacksonville. First, I'd like to extend a direct thank you to Paula and Glenn for facilitating this opportunity for me to share the arts here at Sturgeon City. A special thanks to Noah White of the Arts Council for all of the studio support this week. And lastly, a big thank you to the art students themselves for toughing it out, for trying new things, and for being flexible when asked to be. The arts are a vehicle for self-expression. A visual literacy is vital to understand the expressions and ideas, concepts and innovations, solutions, feelings and opinions of others. Arts are an integral part of a healthy dialogue of a community to build bridges between perspectives, serve as a catalyst for change. The aim of the Art Institute is to set the students on a trajectory that instills compassion for their community, a deeper understanding of the interplay between economy and ecology, and how they can use art to make an impact in their own lives and others. Now I'd like to ask the students to come up, and they're going to express to you in their own words their experiences for this week.
Hi, my name is Shaitara, and this is my 4th year in Sturgeon City Institutes, and I am a rising senior.
Hi, my name is Cyan Harper, and this is my 1st year in Sturgeon City Institutes, and I'm a rising senior.
Today we will be talking to you about the first impressions that we all had of each other.
We were very unfamiliar with each other. We basically looked at each other and perpetuated stereotypes, which art actually helped us to break, intermingling with each other, and getting to explore each other just like we did our many different art styles through our curriculum.
We thought some of us were a little mean, a little stuck up, and some of us were only here because our parents forced us to be here. But after being here this week, we learned that not everybody is who you make them out to be. And art is a lot like that. You have first impressions of art, and then the more you get into it, you start to see different things, you start to understand it more.
And even more so, when you get to learn how to make the art, you get an even further art appreciation for it.
Hi, my name is Adonis. I'm a rising sophomore, and it's my 1st year.
Hi, I'm Jason Gray, and I am a rising sophomore, and I'm in Art Institute.
So on the first day, we played this icebreakers game, and we played Uno with paint cards, and we had to know our color wheels and to figure out how to match the colors and stuff. And that really helped get to know each other more because we had fun while we played the game, and we broke a lot of stereotypes that we had, and it was just a great time.
Technically, this game is supposed to tell us what color our family colors. And after this game, it actually brought us more together and teaches now it brought all of our friends true colors.
Hi, my name is Kenneth Harper, and it's my 1st year inside of the Sturgeon Institute, and I'm going to be a rising junior.
Hi, my name is Erin Redka. This is my 1st year here, and I'm going to be a sophomore.
So during our institutes, we had a lot of growth and development, meaning over time we went out and we did a lot of oil paintings, and we weren't really confident inside of our art at first. But as our group got closer together, they all complimented our arts, and we were just like, okay, your art is good, and it got better. Each day we were in our group session, everything, we just grew better together with painting and using tools that we didn't know how to use in the beginning. So
we had to use a lot of materials that a lot of us were not comfortable with, such as we split into 2 separate groups of 4 people, and we had to use the materials we found in the earth around us, and we had to make some kind of art. And we struggled because we had to work together, and we had to use rocks and sticks, but in the end, we all came together, and we worked it out, and we created art.
Hi, my name is Layla Stewart, and I am a rising sophomore. This is my 1st year here.
Hi, I'm Kira, and this is my 2nd year in Art Institute, and I am a rising senior. So building off of what Erin said, we had to work together in our teams, overcome our differences and the struggles we had with each other, and we managed to pull it all together and work together on our final project, our final earthwork project.
Adding on to that, we did a monochrome printing that Miss Kat showed us how to do off of a few things, and we all got to pick our own pictures from our lives. I particularly like Cyan's. Hers looks pretty dope, if I say so myself. But adding on to that, I think we all learned a word in the beginning that we all don't like. What's that word, guys? Yeah, word we all love so much. Woo. But I would like to present to the Sturgeon City Institute a thing we all put together, and Ms. Cat. It is our final earthworks that we all struggled a little bit, argued a little bit, flexibility a little bit, and we finally got it put together after a lot of talking on our little bay out here.
Thank you, guys. At this time, it is my pleasure to graduate you guys on. Can I have Jason Gray come up? Kanae Harper. Cyan Harper. Shaitara Hodges. Erin Rudka. Kira McDowell. Layla Stewart. And Adonis Whitby. They all did an amazing job this week. Should be very proud of themselves.
It's always so exciting to see what the different groups come up with each of the different years. And it's so neat because although we have all the different institutes that focus on different things, not every single one is about science. They find different ways to factor science and the environment into each of the different institutes throughout the week. So it's always a great pleasure. So with that, I'm going to move on, and I would like to introduce our lovely public safety officers that have been helping us out this week. So we have got a long list of assistants, but our main directors were Officer Christopher Padrick, Officer Anthony Ricks, and Officer Julius Acosta. So they're going to head up here and help introduce what they're going to do for our Public Safety Institute presentation.
Morning or afternoon. I'm Officer Padrick, Jacksonville Police Department. This is my first year being part of the Sturgeon City program. I've really enjoyed it. I think I speak for them as well. It's been really fun. It reminds me of the Explorer program that we kind of do at the police department, which I'm a post advisor for, so it's not foreign to me. We have had a great group of students. When I asked them what they wanted to do, well, of course, public safety, we're just police officers up here, but that's fire, EMS, basically everybody that works together for one goal, protect and serve in our community. But I asked them what they wanted to do, and of course they want to do skits of all the cool stuff that we do. So like traffic stops, building searches. But before we get started on that, I want Deshauna to come up here and give a speech, basically.
Hi, my name's Deshauna Cruz, and this is my 4th year here, 3rd year with the Public Safety Institute. What is public safety to me? Public safety to me is a fast-paced, quick-thinking job that requires those involved to always be on their toes. When many think public safety, many think of police officers, but as I learned this week, public safety is more than just the boys in navy blue. It is the firefighters, EMS workers, people at the call center, and much more. I think everyone should learn about public safety camp because it is an eye-opening experience about what happens behind the scenes and in our community to keep us safe. We like to thank Officer Ricks, Padrick, and Acosta for taking the time out of this week to show us all the vastly interesting world of public safety. Now here are some scenarios of things police officers do. These demonstrations will be done by the public safety students.
All right. I want to slide over. All right, so our front group right here, you have to use your power of imagination, is basically going to be our suspect vehicle or it's committed some kind of infraction or misdemeanor offense. The rear group is going to be our police officers, and they're going to go through, or they're going to try to go through what we do as a traffic stop. And I'm going to act as their dispatch.
325 Jacksonville.
Go ahead, 325.
Signal 2, I have a red Mustang. It has North Carolina plates, Amber Boy Charles 123, and we are located at the Walmart on Yop Road.
10-4.
Evidence in case the car drives away.
Good evening, ma'am. I am Officer Hunt with the Jacksonville Police Department. I have pulled you over for speeding. Do you have any reason for this?
Yeah, we were on our way to Dunkin' Donuts. We're hungry.
Could I please see your license and registration? Thank you. For your safety and mine, please stay in the vehicle. Right now, I would be checking her driver history and if she has any wants or warrants. And she's good, so I'm just going to give her a warning because she's never been pulled over before. Here is your license and registration, and I have given you a written warning. Do you have any questions? Drive safe.
We will now demonstrate a more complex traffic stop.
325 Jacksonville.
Go ahead, 325.
Signal 2, I have a red Mustang at the Walmart by Yop Road, North Carolina tags, Adam Boy Charles 123, 3 occupants.
10-4.
I am the cover officer, and I make sure the occupants in the vehicle aren't doing anything that they're not supposed to.
I'm Officer Whitfield. I pulled you over for running a stop sign. Do you have a justifiable reason for doing that?
Yeah, we were going to McDonald's. They have a 2-for-1 sale for ice cream.
Right. Can I have your driver's license and registration, please? I see that your license is expired. Did you know that?
Yeah, I found out about that a couple days ago.
All right, well, I need the licenses of your passengers to find out if there's someone who can drive this car. Here. After running the licenses, I found out that the woman in the back has a warrant for her arrest, and the man in the front license is verified. So I'm going to have to let my partner know and let everyone else in my car know what is going to be going on. Sir, I decided to give you a warning for driving with an expired license. Ma'am, there's a warrant for your arrest, so I'm going to need you to step out of the vehicle.
Ma'am, you do have a warrant for your arrest, so at this time you're under arrest. So turn around and put your hands behind your back, please. Click.
All right, great job, guys. Here, take these chairs with you. All right, for the next one, they're going to do what's called a roll-in tee, and I'll have them explain that. They're going to be utilizing what we call the red gun. They are plastic. They don't even function, so if anybody has any worries about that, I could take it around to you and show you that it's a plastic gun, okay? All right?
I've never spoken in a microphone before.
This is a rolling T demonstration that the rolling T is used by police agencies across North Carolina for rapid response situations.
Now we'll call. All right, so hand out some certificates for graduating. Good job, guys. Great job. Savannah Brown. Louis Carino. Shauna Cruz. Corey Cupsta. Skylar Hunt. Austin Jarman. Marcus Kent. Emma Lefebvre. If I say any of the names wrong, I'm sorry. Chaz Matthews. Samantha Miller Barnes. David Sinanen. Justin Sloan. Madison Thomas. Abigail Whitfield. Special good job to Abigail. She was terrified to do this, just so y'all know. She did a great job, though. Good job, guys.
Thank you guys for a wonderful job. I always enjoy the ingenious ways the Public Safety Institute comes up with demonstrating what they've done throughout the week. And again, I think it's such a great experience, as was mentioned by Ms. Shauna Cruz. A lovely experience for the students to get an insight into what really goes on out there with our public safety officers. And I think it's very important for the young people in our community to gain that understanding. So it's a great portion of the institutes, and we greatly appreciate the support of our many City of Jacksonville public safety and EMS and fire folks that help us out with that program. So thank you again for that. I'm just going to talk to you guys briefly about some visions for the future. As we've mentioned today, you're sitting in our brand new Sturgeon City Environmental Education Center. Those of you that have followed this project here at this site know that it was always meant to be a multi-phase project. And one of the potential options that has been part of this project and is maybe coming back again is to do some improvements to what's actually behind me out these doors, which is the former bio tower for the plant here. And so being able to convert some space inside that bio tower into potential exhibit space to continue to tell the story of Sturgeon City. It is basically a large empty concrete box at this point in time, but it gives us a great stable foundation to be able to utilize for an opportunity like this. Also potentially being able to even interact with some of the items that have been used throughout the restoration project at this facility, some things that were in use when this was still the former wastewater treatment plant for the city. Another great fact about this bio tower, at one point it was one of the highest points in Jacksonville, and it actually still provides a pretty great view from the top downriver out towards our bridges. And so we'd love to be able to add on some features where people could be able to go up on top of that bio tower and enjoy the view and participate in outdoor activities. Not so many years ago, during this very same week of our summer institutes, the partnership between the nonprofit and the city of Jacksonville was further solidified as Sturgeon City presented its first check to the city of Jacksonville and memorialized by the lovely shape of a sturgeon that these students as part of the institute that summer formed for us for this photo opportunity, continuing to demonstrate the partnership between these two entities as well as many others in the process of building this center and continuing to add improvements onto this site. And today, here we are in our brand new Sturgeon City Environmental Education Center. So thank you again for joining us this week for these programs, for being a part of helping to open this facility with us. And we hope that you're as excited as we are for all the potential opportunities that can take place in this facility and at this site and help us continue to grow, continue to tell our story, continue to inspire future generations and future community leaders through the work that we do here at this facility. Many of you might be wondering, we've talked an awful lot about sturgeon this week. Again, we get a lot of questions about this. And so one of the big focuses of this entire thing was the cleanup of the river and the restoration of the river and being able to continue to tell that story. Sturgeon provide a couple of things, one of which is they are a bottom feeder, considered a keystone species, very sensitive to water quality, meaning that seeing a strong population of sturgeon is an indicator of good water quality. And we also think they're very visible. They grow very large. Some folks call them our lovely dinosaur fish because they have looked pretty similar since prehistoric times. So we liked using that idea to talk about our end goal restoration efforts. What a great feather in our cap it would be if this species were to return to this area, the multiple species of sturgeon that used to be prevalent here, for those of you that remember those times. So that's why we have memorialized that name and continue to use it and as we go forward with our cleanup work and our education work here at the site. And again, continuing to focus on that moral obligation phrase that the city chose to step forward, provide the restoration, provide these opportunities for young people. They saw the benefit of the opportunities for young people in this community to have a voice. And also, about the same time as the beginning of the Sturgeon City Institutes and when this plant was closing, through a partnership between the city of Jacksonville and the Onslow County Schools, the Jacksonville Youth Council was formed. So I would like to call up a few folks who are going to tell us a little bit about the Youth Council in case anyone would be interested in being able to join that program.
Hi, everybody. I'm Amara Moeller. I'm a rising sophomore, or rising senior. I'm the vice chairman of the Jacksonville Youth Council, and I am going into my third year working with them.
I'm Cameron Davis. I'm a rising junior. I am part of the executive committee, and I represent Onslow Early College, and I also go to Onslow Early College.
My name is Sarah, and I'm a rising sophomore, and I go to Onslow Early College.
Hi, my name is Cyan Harper, and I'm a rising senior, and I'm gunning for the White Oak seat.
Hi, my name is Kenny Harper. I'm a member of JYC, and I'm a rising junior.
So we actually just finished our 20th year with the Jacksonville Youth Council being formed. We do a lot of volunteer work, a lot of activities in the community, always trying to improve and trying to learn and trying to grow. Our meetings run through the school year. They start in September and run all the way through June. Our first meeting for this year will be September 5th at 6 o'clock at the City Hall.
So also with JYC, we also have a bunch of subcommittees which are ran by the executive board. So we have Harmony, which is a youth philanthropy group. Basically what we do is we get a large amount of money at the beginning of the year, and we have to choose what organizations we want to give the money to. We also plan parties like the senior send-off and Christmas parties, which are all ran and funded by Jacksonville and the executive board on JYC.
Also, that's something that got started is the Youth Empowerment Series. I believe the next day is July 2nd, so you should come and check it out.
The reason I joined the youth council was because I heard about it through my school, and I really wanted to improve on my leadership skills and my presentation skills and meet new people.
It's a great place to meet a lot of people. These people, they don't go to any of my school, except for my sister. I met people from different kinds of schools, and it's a great way to meet people from different parts of your community. If you have something going on at your school, you can tell them about it, present it at one of the meetings, and people can come out and support you just as a fellow community goer person, fellow teen. There you go.
While the main focus of the Jacksonville Youth Council is on current high school students, our meetings are open for everybody to join or to come visit, and we'd really like to come see you come out. Thank you.
As was mentioned, their first meeting for the fall will be in council chambers in City Hall. They also often have meetings and other programs at the Jacksonville Youth Council across the street from City Hall. And one more thing that we'd like to show you guys, and then following this, I'll close some things out. We'd like to show you a little bit of video about what the students have been doing during this week.
City is innovative.
It's adventurous.
Messy.
Educational.
Important.
Nerdy.
Safe.
Inspiring.
Making the future better.
Resourceful.
Extraordinary.
Great.
Unpredictable.
Is a role model.
Science.
Exciting. Eco-friendly.
Fun.
Mushy. The future.
Oh, hello. I'm Colin Stoner.
It's a video, so.
Skyline Heights. I go to Jacksonville.
City and the Institutes is science.
So with that, we're coming to the closing of our 2019 Sturgeon City Institutes. And the success of these institutes is not measured just in what we see today, but what we'll continue to see in the future for these students. So we'd like to encourage you guys to take pride in the work that you've done this week and to continue to take part in opportunities to participate in this community. Things that we've talked about like our Jacksonville Youth Council and other volunteer opportunities that might become available to you in the future. And other ways to make an impact on this community and take pride in the work that you're doing. And we also want to make sure that this 21st edition of the Sturgeon City Institutes is not closed without making sure to acknowledge the 21 years of support provided by the mayor and city council and the many staff at the city of Jacksonville. We could not do it without their support in terms of their funding, their inspiration, and their implementation of these programs. So please, if you interact with them, take time in your interactions to mention how proud you are of the work done by your students and how much you appreciate their support of this program. We also would like to make sure we take time to thank our Onslow County School Board and our Onslow County School System for their continued support of this program over the last 21 years, providing things like space and computers and buses and bus drivers and many other things. And of course, this is a giant partnership. As we talked about synergy all throughout this week, the program could not go on without many, many folks. I mentioned to those of you that were in our opening ceremony how many people also take part in this in the background that you may never see, may never meet, may never interact with, but are vital and necessary to making this program go off in a way that it does. So just please know how much time and effort goes into this, but that's because we're proud of you guys' accomplishments and we're proud to provide this opportunity for you. So please continue to be valuable community members and become valuable community members wherever you may end up. If you do go off after graduation to other communities and maybe don't make it back to Jacksonville, just take the things that you've learned throughout your years with this program with you, wherever you may end up. And so with that, we're going to send forth our 21st iteration of our Sturgeon City Institute alums, now that you are alums. And with that, I would like to go ahead and close our 2019 Sturgeon City Institutes.